In this video, we will understand about the FSSAI regulations on the food or health supplements, nutraceuticals, foods for special dietary uses, foods for special medical purposes, functional foods and novel foods. Okay, and these regulations says about how this noble food should be, what are the criteria, what should be the ingredient qualities, the purity of the ingredients, and what are the health claims the FBO can make on their labels. All these things we will understand.
Regulations 1. Short title and commencement. 1. These regulations may be called the Food Safety and Standards, Health Supplements, Nutraceuticals, Food for Special Dietary Use, Food for Special Medical Purpose, Functional Food and Novel Food Regulations, 2016. 2. They shall come into force on the date of their publication in the official gazette, and food business operator shall comply with all the provisions of these regulations by the 1st of January 2018. 3. General requirements. 1. The articles of food sold in capsule format, hard or soft or vegetarian, shall comply with the general monograph and quality requirements specified for them in Indian Pharmacopoeia, provided that the food business operator may use the approved colors and additives permitted in Schedule VF, provided further that the food business operator may use the natural flavors or nature identical flavors or synthetic flavors in accordance with the provisions of Regulation 3.3.1 of Food Safety and Standards, Food Product Standards and Food Additives, Regulations. 2011. 2. For the purposes of sub-regulation, 1. The food business operator may declare the addition of flavor on labels of such products in accordance with the provisions of Food Safety and Standards, Labeling and Packaging, Regulations, 2011. 3. The tablets, capsules and syrups shall fulfill the general quality requirements and standards as specified in Indian Pharmacopoeia, British Pharmacopoeia or United States Pharmacopoeia. 4. The quantity of nutrients added to the articles of food shall not exceed the recommended daily allowance as specified by the Indian Council of Medical Research, and in case such standards are not specified, the standards laid down by International Food Standards Body, namely, Codex Alimentarius Commission, shall apply. 5. In case of food products falling under health supplement categories, the individual nutrient content shall not be less than 15% of the recommended daily allowance where a nutrient content claim is being made, provided that, if claim of higher nutrient content is made, the nutrient content shall not be less than 30% of the recommended daily allowance. 6. For the articles of food specified in these regulations, the Food Authority may permit the food business operator to add food colors subject to the level restrictions as mentioned in Food Safety and Standards, Food Product Standards and Food Additives, Regulations, 2011. 7. The articles of food with standard nutrient or nutritionally complete formulation shall consist of a composition delivering the desired level of energy, protein, vitamins and minerals, and other essential nutrients required for respective age group, gender and physiological stage in accordance with the guidelines made by the Indian Council of Medical Research. 8. The purity criteria for the ingredients used in the categories of articles of food covered under these regulations shall be as determined and notified in the official gazette by the Food Authority from time to time. 9. In case such standards are not specified, the purity criteria generally accepted by pharmacopoeias, namely, Indian Pharmacopoeia, Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, relevant Bureau of Indian Standards Specifications, Quality Standards of Indian Medicinal Plants, Indian Council of Medical Research, British Pharmacopoeia, United States Pharmacopoeia, Food Chemical Codex, Joint Food and Agriculture Organization or World Health Organization Expert Committee on Food Additives or Codex Alimentarius may be adopted by food business operators. 10. The food business operator shall intimate the purity criteria adopted for ingredients to the Food Authority, including any change when adopted. 11. The tolerance limit for variation in case of articles of food covered in these regulations during analysis of samples of finished products shall not be more than 10% from the declared value of the nutrients or nutritional ingredients on the label. 12. The manufacturing of ingredients and products covered under these regulations shall be carried out in compliance with the established good manufacturing practices. 13. For purposes of these regulations, any of the ingredients specified in Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4, Schedule 6, Schedule 7, and Schedule 8 may be used in food in accordance with the provisions of these regulations, and for the said purpose, may use additives as applicable to categories specified in Schedule V to Schedule VF. Explanation 1. For the purposes of these regulations, food or ingredients referred to in Food Safety and Standards Regulations, 2011, and for which standards are provided, and the plants and botanicals specified in Schedule 4 of these regulations offered in normal or naturally occurring forms shall not constitute a health supplement or nutraceutical, or food for special dietary use or food for special medical purpose. Explanation 2. Mere food forms such as vegetables, namely, bindi, karela and other vegetables, cereals, namely, ragi, jwar, millets and other cereals, legumes, namely, rajma and other legumes, spices, namely, pepper, jeera, turmeric and other spices, fruits, namely, amla, jamun, grapes and other fruits, and other plants or botanicals, minimally processed, cleaned, the weeded, sorted, dried or powdered, in either as juice or cooked form, shall not constitute health supplement or nutraceutical or food for special dietary use or food for special medical purpose. 14. The formulation of articles of food shall be based on the principles of sound medicine or nutrition and supported by validated scientific data wherever required. 15. No hormones or steroids or psychotropic ingredients shall be added in any of the articles of food specified in these regulations. 16. The label on articles of food shall specify the purpose, the target consumer group and the physiological or disease conditions which they address, recommended duration of use, and the specific labeling requirements as mentioned against each type of article of food. 17. The label, accompanying leaflet or other labeling and advertisement of each type of article of food, referred to in these regulations shall provide sufficient information on the nature and purpose of the article of food and detailed instructions and precautions for its use, and the format of information given shall be appropriate for the intended consumer. 18. An article of food which has not been particularly modified in any way but is suitable for use in a particular dietary regimen because of its natural composition, shall not be designated as health supplement or special dietary or special dietetic or by any other equivalent term, and such food may bear a statement on the label that this food is by its nature XX, refers to the essential distinguishing characteristic as demonstrated by the generally accepted scientific data, provided that the statement does not mislead the consumer. 19. The Food Authority may suspend or restrict sale of such articles of food as have been placed in the market that are not clearly distinguishable from articles of food for normal consumption and are not suitable for their claimed nutritional purpose, or may endanger human health, in accordance with the provisions of the Act. 20. The Food Authority may, at any time, direct a food business operator manufacturing and selling such special type of article of food, to furnish details regarding the history of use of the novel or modified ingredients added and their safety evaluation. 21. The mere combination of vitamins and minerals formulated in tablets, capsules, syrup formats shall not be covered in any of the categories of these regulations except when vitamins and minerals are added to an article of food or in a food format. 22. The labeling on the article of food shall be in accordance with the Food Safety and Standards, Packaging and Labeling Regulations, 2011, and the specific labeling requirements provided in these regulations. 23. The articles of food shall conform to the Food Safety and Standards, Contaminants, Toxins and Residues Regulations, 2011. 24. No person shall manufacture, pack, sell, offer for sale, market or otherwise distribute or import any food products referred to in these regulations unless they comply with the requirements laid down in these regulations. 25. Whoever contravenes the provisions of these regulations shall be liable for punishment provided under Chapter 9 of the Act. 4. Claims. 1. Every food business operator may make nutritional or health claims in respect of an article of food. 2. For the purposes of sub-regulation 1, a nutritional claim shall consist of the ingredients, nutrient or nutritional content of an article of food which shall be subject to the nutritional supplement requirements specified in Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4, and Schedule 6. 3. For the purposes of these regulations, health claim means any representation in respect of an article of food that states, suggests or implies that a relationship exists between the constituent of that nutrient or nutritional, health, and specific disease conditions. 4. The health claim in respect of an article of food consists of the following two essential components, namely, I. Nutrient or nutritional ingredients, and E. Health-related benefits. 5. The health claim in respect of an article of food may include the following types, but not limited to I. Ingredients, nutrient or nutritional, function claims. E. Enhanced function claims. E. Disease risk reduction claims. If health maintenance claims. V. Immunity claims, increased resistance excluding vaccines, and Y. Anti-aging claims. 6. The other claims in an article of food that are not drug claims may be allowed subject to prior approval of the Food Authority. 7. The health claims in respect of an article of food shall be commensurate with the adequate level of documentation and valid proof made available for review by the Food Authority when called for. 8. To claim ingredients, nutrient or nutritional, in respect of an article of food for enhanced function and disease risk reduction, regard shall be had to I. Claims that led to ingredients, nutrient or nutritional. E. Available scientific literature including official traditional texts and post-market data or consumer studies or cohort or retroactive studies based on eating pattern and health benefits, epidemiological international and national data, and other well-documented data. E. Consensual, congruent and concurrent validity studies. If health promotive and disease risk reduction based on proof from literature and human data of efficacy and safety of the nutrient. V. Not only controlled clinical trials for efficacy and safety data, but also nutriepidemiological data. Y. Qualified structure function claims for specific organ or function which are comprehensible to consumer. VII. Prohibition of implied claims for curing disease or claims of drug-like efficacy such as prevents bone fragility in postmenopausal women. VE. Prohibition of implied cure for disease claims by the name of the product such as cancer cure or through pictures, vignettes or symbols, namely electrocardiogram tracing, lipid profile, and X for structure function claims, a case-to-case basis consumer information for specific age or gender or vulnerable population. 9. I. For the product-led claims in respect of an article of food based on human studies with evidence-based data, regard shall be had to a. Valid data and suitable statistical design proving the benefit for disease risk reduction, that is, human intervention studies. B. Ingredient, that is, nutrient or nutritional. C. The product compatibility for the proposed claim benefit and suitable qualifiers such as heart healthy claim on polyunsaturated fatty acids. D. The use of word shown as depicted in the example below when a single human intervention study shows significant benefit. Product less than name of the product greater than is shown to be helping in less than keeping your heart healthy greater than or less than heart healthy greater than. E. The use of word proven as depicted in the example below when more than one human intervention studies or epidemiological evidence on Indian population have been provided with concurrent validity. product less than name of the product greater than is proven less than to make you lose weight greater than for health claims where scientific support does not exist or if a novel ingredient is to be introduced, there shall be a prior approval of the authority which shall be based on adequate scientific evidence. If the health claims are product led, the food business operator shall notify to the food authority before putting the same in the market by submitting relevant documents along with a copy of the label. 5. General principles for query or challenge. The food business operator shall prepare and make available the comprehensive product information, safety and claims support data and shall periodically get it reviewed and scrutinized by a scientist or expert with relevant qualifications and experience. Attach the scientific view of the reviewer on claims and its veracity along with the qualification and experience of the reviewer as an essential part of the document. Clarify, in case of a technical query from the food authority or on a public complaint lodged with the food authority, and assist the food authority to examine or authorize an appropriate expert group to review the case and, if alter or modify a stop claim when directed by the food authority which shall be based on the opinion of an expert group. 6. Health supplements. 1. Health supplements may be used to supplement the normal diet of a person above the age of 5 years. The health supplements shall contain concentrated source of one or more nutrients, namely amino acids, enzymes, minerals, proteins, vitamins, other dietary substances, plants or botanicals, prebiotics, probiotics and substances from animal origin or other similar substances with known and established nutritional or beneficial physiological effect, which are presented as such and are offered alone or in combination, but are not drugs as defined in the Clause B of Section 3 of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, 1940, 23 of 1940, and the rules made thereunder. The health supplements shall be marketed in single-use packaging as appropriate to maintain integrity and quality of the product or in dosage forms, namely capsules, tablets, pills, sachets, jelly or gel, semi-solids and other similar forms or any other forms of liquids and powders designed to be taken in measured unit quantities. If the health supplements shall not include any of the food products or categories of articles of food for which specific standards have been laid down in any other parts of these regulations. In any of the ingredients specified in Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 or Schedule 4 or Schedule 7 or Schedule 8 or enzymes only of Schedule 6. The ingredients specified in the schedules referred to in Clause I of Sub-Regulation 2 may be used in manufacturing of health supplements without prejudice to modifications for one or more of these nutrients rendered necessary by the intended use of the product. The quantity of nutrients added to the articles of food shall not exceed the recommended daily allowance as specified by the Indian Council of Medical Research, and in case such standards are not specified, standards laid down by the International Food Standards Body, namely, Codex Alimentarius Commission, shall apply. If the food business operator shall apply to the food authority for inclusion of any new nutrient or other substance with a nutritional or physiological function, which has no history of use in India or that without evidence, establishing that the nutrient may result in certain nutritional and physiological benefits with justification for approval. The food authority may, after proper scientific evaluation, specify the nutrients approved by it from time to time. 3. The labeling, presentation and advertisement shall not claim that the health supplement has the property of preventing, treating or curing a human disease, or refer to such properties. The statement by the food business operator relating to the structure or function or the general well-being of the body may be allowed by the food authority if the statement is supported by the generally accepted scientific data. Every package of health supplement shall carry the following information on the label, namely, A. The words health supplement. B. The common name of the health supplement or a description sufficient to indicate the true nature of the health supplement, including the common names of the categories of nutrients or substances that characterize the product. C. A declaration as to the amount of the nutrients or substances with a nutritional or physiological effect present in the product. D. An advisory warning, not for medicinal use, prominently written. E. The quantity of nutrients, where applicable, expressed in terms of percentage of the relevant recommended daily allowances as specified by the Indian Council of Medical Research, and bear a warning, not to exceed the recommended daily usage. F. A statement that the health supplement is not be used as a substitute for a varied diet. G. A warning or any other precautions to be taken while consuming known side effects. F. A statement that the health supplement is not be used as a substitute for a varied diet. G. A warning or any other precautions to be taken while consuming known side effects, if any. Contraindications and published product or drug interactions as applicable, and H. A statement that the product is required to be stored out of reach of children. 4. No food business operator shall use additives for health supplement formulation except those specified in Schedule V or Schedule V or Schedule VF. 7. Nutraceuticals 1. The nutraceuticals shall provide a physiological benefit and help maintain good health. A food business operator may extract, isolate and purify nutraceuticals from food or non-food sources, that is, preparing amino acids and their derivatives by bacterial fermentation under controlled conditions. A food business operator may prepare and sell the nutraceuticals in the food format of granules, powder, tablet, capsule, liquid, jelly or gel, semi-solids and other formats, and may be packed in sachet, ampoule, bottle, and in any other format as measured unit quantities except those formats that are meant for parenteral administration. 2. The nutraceuticals shall contain any of the ingredients specified in Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 or Schedule 4 or Schedule 6 or Schedule 7 or Schedule 8. A food business operator may use ingredients specified in the schedules referred to in Clause I of subregulation 2 in manufacturing an article of food containing nutraceuticals without prejudice to modifications for one or more of these nutrients rendered necessary by the intended use of the product. The quantity of nutrients added where applicable shall not exceed the recommended daily allowance as specified by the Indian Council of Medical Research, and in case such standards are not specified, the standard laid down by International Food Standards Body, namely Codex Alimentarius Commission, shall apply. If a nutraceutical which is not provided in these regulations but its safety has been established in India or in any other country, shall be manufactured or sold in India only on prior approval of the Food Authority. V. For the purposes of clause, if a food business operator shall apply to the Food Authority for approval which shall be accompanied by documented history of usage of at least 15 years in India, or 30 years in the country of origin. Y. The Food Authority may from time to time specify the nutraceuticals as approved by it after undertaking proper scientific evaluation. 3. No ingredient other than those specified in Schedule 6 shall be used as nutraceutical with standardization 2. Marker compounds specified and at daily usage levels specified therein. The ingredient for which the standardization of the marker compound has not been specified shall comply with manufacturer specifications or quality requirements and purity criteria as specified in Regulation 3. For the ingredient for which the daily minimum and maximum usage levels have not been specified, the food business operator shall adopt the usage level based on relevant scientific data and retain the documentary evidence of such data. If, for the purpose of Clause E, the food business operator shall submit the documented scientific data to the Food Authority as and when called for. B. No food business operator shall use the extract of ingredient as nutraceutical other than that specified in Schedule 4. provided that the ingredient of plant or botanical origin specified in Schedule 4 and Schedule 6 may be used either in the given form or their extract, subject to the extractive ratios in relation to the daily usage value. 4. The labeling, presentation and advertisement shall not claim that the nutraceutical has the property of preventing, treating or curing a human disease, or refer to such properties. The statement by the food business operator relating to the structure or function or the general well-being of the body may be allowed by the food authority if the statement is supported by the generally accepted scientific data. Every package of food containing nutraceutical shall carry the following information on the label, namely, a. The word nutraceutical. B. The common name of the nutraceutical. C. A declaration as to the amount of each nutraceutical ingredient in the product that either has a nutritional or physiological effect. D. Where it is appropriate, the quantity of nutrients shall be expressed in terms of percentage of the relevant recommended daily allowances as specified by the Indian Council of Medical Research even when the nutrient is present along with a nutraceutical as an adjunct, and shall bear an advisory warning not to exceed the stated recommended daily usage. An advisory warning for recommended usage. F. An advisory warning, not for medicinal use, prominently written. G. An advisory warning in cases where a danger may exist with excess consumption. H. An advisory warning or any other precautions to be taken while consuming, known side effects, if any, contraindications, and product drug interactions, as applicable. A statement that the product is required to be stored out of reach of children. 5. No food business operator shall use additives for nutraceutical formulation except those specified in Schedule 1 or Schedule V or Schedule VF. 8. Food for special dietary use other than infants, and those products intended to be taken under medical advice. 1. No food business operator shall manufacture, formulate or process an article of food for special dietary use unless specially processed or formulated to satisfy particular dietary requirements which may exist or arise because of certain physiological or specific health conditions, namely a. Low weight, obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure. B. Pregnant and lactating women, and C. Geriatric population and celiac disease and other health conditions. The food business operator shall clearly indicate on the label whether or not the food for special dietary use is to be taken under medical advice. A food business operator may manufacture or sell an article of food for special dietary use in single-use packaging or in dosage form, namely, granules, capsules, tablets, pills, jelly, semi-solid and other similar forms, sachets of powder, or any other similar forms of liquids and powders designed to be taken in measured unit quantities with a nutritional or physiological effect. If a food business operator may formulate an article of food for special dietary use in formats meant for oral feeding through gastroenteral tubes but shall not be used for parenteral use. An article of food for special dietary use shall not include the normal food which is merely enriched or modified with nutrients and meant for mass consumption, intended for improvement of general health for day-to-day use and do not claim to be targeted to consumers with specific disease conditions, and also not include the article of food intended to replace complete diet covered under food for special medical purpose specified in Regulation 9(2)(I). The articles of food for special dietary use shall contain any of the ingredients specified in Schedules I or Schedule 2 or Schedule 3 or Schedule 4 or Schedule 6 or Schedule 7 or Schedule 8. A food business operator may use the ingredients specified in the schedules referred to in Clause I of Subregulation 2 in manufacturing food for special dietary use without prejudice to modifications for one or more of these nutrients rendered necessary by the intended use of the product. E. For any new nutrient which has no history of use in India or that without a proof establishing that the nutrient may result in certain nutritional and physiological benefits, the food business operator shall apply to the food authority with justification for approval, and the food authority may, from time to time, specify the nutrients approved by it after proper scientific evaluation. If a food business operator may add the quantity of the nutrients at a level higher than the recommended daily allowance, but not exceeding the limits of vitamins and minerals specified in Schedule 3. VI. The articles of food used as a formula food presented as a replacement for all meals of the daily diet for slimming, weight management and weight control purposes shall comply with the following, namely, A. Provide energy not less than 800 kilocalories, 3350 kilojoules, and not more than 1200 kilocalories, 5020 kilojoules. B. The individual portions or servings contained in the formula food shall provide approximately 1/3 or 1/4 of the total energy of the food in the pack, depending on whether the recommended number of portions or servings per day is 3 or 4, as the case may be, respectively. A formula food presented as a replacement for one or more meals of the daily diet shall comply with the following, namely, A. Provide energy not less than 200 kilocalories, 835 kilojoules, and not more than 400 kilocalories, 1670 kilojoules, per meal. B. When such products are presented as a replacement for the major part of the diet, the total energy intake shall not exceed 1200 kilocalories, 5020 kilojoules. E. Not less than 25% and not more than 50% of the energy available from the food, when ready to serve, shall be derived from its protein content, and the total amount of protein shall not exceed 125 grams per day. If the quality of protein shall have A. The protein digestibility corrected amino acid score of 1.0 known as the reference protein. B. The protein digestibility corrected amino acid score were less than 1.0, the minimum level shall be increased to compensate for the lower protein quality. C. The protein with a protein digestibility corrected amino acid score of 0.8 or more shall be used in a formula food for use in a weight control diet, and V. For improving the protein quality, the food business operator shall add only L forms of essential amino acids, except for methionine where DL form is allowed. Y. Not more than 30% of the energy available from fat and not less than 3% of the energy from linoleic acid in the form of a glyceride. VII. A formula food represented as a replacement for all meals per day shall not have less than 100% of the recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals in the daily intake. V. The formula food for special dietary use shall have adequate dietary fiber. 3. No statement or claim shall be made on the label implying prevention, cure or treatment of any specific disease or its diagnosis, or otherwise preventing or interfering with the normal operation of a physiological function, whether permanently or temporarily, unless otherwise approved by the food authority. The statement by the food business operator relating to the structure or function or the general well-being of the body may be allowed by the food authority, if the statement is supported